Hi, I'm Kekuʻiapōiula Keliipuleole. My waters are Waiʻomao and Pukele. My winds and rains are Lililehua. My mountain is Makanui. My aina is Kawahiahaui. I am Kama'aina to the Pololo Ahupua'a in the Moku Kona, and I am a child of Oahualua. Currently, I'm in my third year at the University of Hawaii Mānoa in the Marine Biology Graduate Program, doing my PhD. I'm also a part of the Me'e lab. Me'e is an indigenous-led laboratory that co-collaborates with communities in Hawaii to focus on sustainability issues, especially with our waters, both fresh and salt. I study Loko Waiʻōpae, or ancholine pools, and ʻŌpaeʻula, which are a tiny native red shrimp that live within those waters. Loko Waiʻōpae are brackish bodies of water that have no surface connections to any sources of water, meaning that any water that goes into those ancholine pools are fed by fresh groundwater or salty groundwater. The purpose of studying ʻŌpaeʻula is to find out what factors might increase their abundance. The North Kona community has noticed the populations of ʻŌpaeʻula decreasing, so we need to figure out how we can increase those population abundances, and that's what my research is. Traditionally, we would use ʻŌpaeʻula as a superior palu or superior bait, and we would make these bait balls and feed the schools of ʻōpelu, and they would come and we'd gather the ʻōpelu that way. And more than that, ʻŌpaeʻula was also used in the practice of hanai, and hanai is when you would go out to these areas and feed these schools of ʻōpelu. And that would in turn allow those schools to become momona or healthy and abundant. And you wouldn't harvest them during hanai. You would just feed them, go back to the same place, keep feeding them. The school would get bigger and bigger. And the momona of that ʻōpelu school would allow for bigger predatory fish like aku or ahi to also be able to feed on those schools, and they would get more momona, more abundant. And we could also fish on those. So it's this big chain of increasing aina momona, or sustainability of our waters, of our food sources in our waters. So ʻŌpaeʻula is a very important base of that whole system. I was on a different project a few years ago working on groundwater in North Kona, and during that I met a lot of community members and heard a lot of their concerns about their ancholine pools or their Loko Waiʻōpae. And one of the main concerns were how their ʻŌpaeʻula populations are doing. The community has noticed that the populations have been dwindling over the years, and they're worried about them. So I thought I could help with some water quality, some analyzing of what might be affecting ʻŌpaeʻula populations. Because I'm from Oahu, I have to travel to Kona 4 times a year with my fully native Hawaiian crew that comes over with me to help me do my research. We do sampling twice per season. So 2 times in the wet season, 2 times in the dry season. And we focus on different moon cycles. So I never go to Kona during the same moon cycle. And when I get to Kona, I'm doing water quality on the Loko Waiʻōpae. I also do behavior studies on the ʻŌpaeʻula. And I take microbial samples. So I take water samples to look at the microbes in the water column, and I take microbial swab samples of the sediment on the bottom of the ponds to look at what the ʻŌpaeʻula might be eating or what might be growing in these ponds. In the past, folks that have studied Loko Waiʻōpae and ʻŌpaeʻula usually study them at a snapshot moment, meaning they only go either during the day or during the night, and they survey the population or they take their water samples at that moment and then leave. Because I'm interested in natural cycles like day and night, moon cycles, seasonal cycles, even tidal cycles, I felt it was important to be at these sites multiple days throughout the day and night. Because we're in Hawaii, we have 2 highs and 2 lows for our tidal changes. Sometimes it happens in the day, sometimes it happens at night. So we go out during the day at different tidal cycles. We go out during the night at different tidal cycles. And sometimes that means we have to wake up at 3, 4 a.m. in the morning to catch that really early tidal change, and then back out at around 9, 10 in the morning, and then back out around 3 or 4 p.m. in the evening, and then again at like 9 or 10 to catch those tidal changes. And walking over those lava fields at night, especially in North Kona, where those lava fields can be very jagged, it can get very dangerous. But I have a really solid crew, and we're able to traverse those dangerous lava fields. This work is important to me because Native Hawaiians are island people. We depend on the ocean for our food, for our resources, and our resources in the ocean are finite. And the ultimate goal is to get back to the sustainability of our nation, of our people in Hawaii. And I think that by studying ʻŌpaeʻula and helping the North Kona community relearn how to use ʻŌpaeʻula as a sustainable bait for catching and even growing the populations of ʻōpelu, I think we can get there in time. I do this work for the lahui. I do this work to get back to sustainability. I do the work for my mom. I do the work for my family, for my son and his future, for all Native Hawaiians in Hawaii. I do this work for Hawaii.